G'day cobbers. I've come up from, where the hell were we? Down at Baltit, Karimabad on the Hunza Valley. We've headed up the Hoper Valley because I wanted to go and do a little bit of a recce mission on a hike that I was looking at doing, the Rush Lake and Rush Peak hike. Now from Rush Peak, you get, on a clear day, a good view of K2, Broad Peak, Mashabroom. There's about three 8,000 plus meter high mountains that you can see from the top of Rush Peak. So I've been really wanting to do this hike, but all the sort of research that I'm doing on it tends to lend itself to needing a guide, and I don't like taking guides, as you guys would see in the Hampton Pass trek that I did. So I've come up here to have a little bit of a look before committing to either getting a guide or just rocking up here with my pack and doing it. But this has blown the wind out of my sails, having a look at what is ahead of me if I decide to do it. Check this out. This here is the Hoper Glacier, and where I need to get to is comes down this path, and then you got to go along. You have to cross the glacier. Now it's about a 4 to 5 day hike, depending on your speed, skill level, fitness, things like that. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So many of the hikes that I've had a look at, you can pretty much halve what people are saying. Like, they really cater for the slowest, which you've got to, you know, go, especially if you're going with a group, you know, like you got to go at the pace of the slowest person. So I was like, okay, 4 or 5 days, I'll knock it out in 3, no worries. This glacier, there is no chance that I have the skill level to do this without a guide. As I'm standing here, I can hear it moving, cracking. So this is moving pretty rapidly, I'm guessing. So you can see a little bit better from here. We've moved up to this little tea spot. Grab a little chair, grab a chai. I'm making a little shade area there. But up here you can see the glacier. It's coming off from the mountains up there. That's it there. Which glaciers I've seen in the past, that's all I've seen of glaciers really. I have never seen like the whole valley system being the glacier as well, which is why this sort of like confused me when I was reading reviews. You're gonna have to cross glaciers. I was like, oh, up there, this will be a lovely little stream I will just walk across. So my prediction of it being crevasses of maybe 15 meters, you'd fall down and there might be a river sitting here. Just spoke to a local. When you were down at the level with the glacier, the depth of this ice is 250 feet deep or thick of ice. So this whole thing here, like there's another canyon under this ice. So this is a huge glacier, and he said from up there to where it finishes is 18 kilometers long. So man, if you fall into these crevasses, you're gone. Well, that's it. Okay, there's been some clarification because I've been going off of my phone's offline maps, and my phone was showing arrows pointing in different directions to other people's, which is always handy when all you have, there's no maps of this area. You just can't get maps, so you rely on your offline maps a bit. My offline maps was showing a walk on this trail and up here, but this here is what one's this one here? This is Hoper Glacier.
Yes, Hoper Glacier.
Hoper Glacier is not the one you'd be walking up. So if you're doing the Rush Lake trek, you come down here, you cross up here, and then you go up, and then on the other side of this, there's like a ridge line you might not be able to see, is Rush Glacier.
Yeah.
Rush Glacier is bigger than this, heads up behind this, and the hike to Rush Lake and Rush Peak goes up pretty steep here. Like, that's huge. It's hundreds of meters up steep, and then along and follows along that other glacier. So I'm glad I spoke to other people. We end up walking up here, and that just looked impossible. Like, this is way too steep. That's not a trek, that's a mountain climb. That's alpinist stuff. That's not the way to go, guys. So if you want to come and have a look at a pretty darn cool glacier, come up here to Hoper Village, Come right up the top and look at his little tea huts. Need to fix a little bit of roofing work there. Everyone here goes, oh, you want a tea? You want tea? So you come here, sit down, relax. Your mountain ranges here, and just look at the glacier rather than concerning yourself on how you're gonna cross the glacier. And again, just speaking to our old mate, he was saying that the other glacier that you have to cross is two glaciers essentially, Hoper and Rush. The Rush Glacier is a lot bigger than this one. I don't know, man. Yeah. This here is kind of a little, well, you can see you can come and get your tea and your food. It's the viewing place for Lake Attabad, and jump on a speedboat and go for a tour around one of the newest lakes in the world. So I was just speaking to somebody in the know. This is where he's from and lives. Yeah, so this was created by a landslide, and the old Silk Road, the Karakoram Highway, got obliterated. So they had to go by boat up through here to carry on trade between China and the southern areas, Pakistan and India, I guess. The tunnels, these little bridges, and the Karakoram Highway only got built in 2013 through the mountains here. So I didn't find out from him when the landslide was, but I got a feeling it was sometime around 2010. So anyway, for maybe, we'll go 3 to 5 years, you had to, the only way of going up the Karakoram the whole way was by boat up Lake Attabad. So there you go. Fact time with Jake. It's fact time with Jake. Anyway, here's Lake Attabad for you. And a bad lake. Get it? Check this out, guys. These are called the Passu cones. So we're heading further up the Hunza Valley, up the Karakoram Highway. We're getting closer and closer to the China border. But these, I saw pictures, like, you know, if you Google the Hunza Valley and look at images, you see images of these mountains. I always thought they were photoshopped to be dragged out to look higher than they are. But they're just amazing. They're just, well, yeah, the cones, they just look like these little spires, all of them. It's this lump of them just sitting here. Gone a little bit further down the hill, and here's the Husseini Bridge, that if you're heading up the Hunza Valley, you probably would have heard of the Hunza Bridge. And here it is, built in 1968. It is about 200 meters long, crossing the river here, and about 45 meters high from the river. But the main thing, and we're going to have a look in a second, is how wide spaced the planks are between it is what makes this bridge a little bit of a thrill seeker's opportunity. 200 meters, and there's like half a meter between each step, and a little bit of chaos actually trying to get onto the thing. And actually probably won't be recording for too much longer because it's a bit of a two-handed affair. But anyway, it's all worth it for the right shot, yeah? There we go, we've got some open ground. Holy dooly. And it doesn't help that the wind is absolutely racing through, trying to knock you off, and it's twisting this bridge on a pretty funky angle as well. Sunny Bridge, Husseini Bridge. I wish it was sunny on Husseini Bridge. Nearly done it. Victory is nearly ours. Now, I'm no official of the Guinness Book of Records, but I reckon I've just broken a bridge speed record getting across Husseini Bridge. This is insane. I don't know if you can hear me. The wind has picked up to those cyclonic levels. It's a huge dust storm blowing up. It's not really conducive conditions. congratulations for going on across one of the gnarliest bridges in the world as well. Alrighty, that's the Husseini bridge done. Tick. Cool. Let's carry on to Passu. G'day, so I'm in Passu, the happening town of Passu. It looks like right now there's not a lot going on, but it does seem there's a bit of construction happening, and there will be, like, look down here, a few little hotels maybe in the future. I'm staying at a place just down here because right now accommodation is limited in Passu, but I think that's going to increase in the next 6 months, year. You come here, it'll be a whole choice. Okay, we're up at this little cafe. It's a bit cold and windy right now, so nobody's sitting out here, but on a beautiful summer's day, have a little chai, a little bit of apricot cake, which seems to be apparently their thing, and look out over the Karakoram mountains. Out of the cold and the wind, and you've got the Passu cones right there. This is a happy little place to be sitting right now.